Nothing like this has ever been done before.
When I was first approached about this project, I thought, that's a pretty bold idea. Can it be done?
I just can't imagine what a positive impact this would make on so many lives.
They just can come to one place, tell their story one time, and be connected to the right resources.
This is a game changer for individuals with disabilities and special needs. They will have one single point of contact.
There's no place like this anywhere else in the world.
Anyone who has ever had to juggle multiple doctor's appointments knows it can be frustrating, time-consuming, and expensive. Well, now imagine having a disability and needing multiple services spread out throughout the community. It's like having a puzzle with hundreds of pieces and no idea where to start. For many individuals with disabilities, the process is so overwhelming, they can get lost and oftentimes they just give up. That is about to change. I'm Leslie Mouton with Morgan's Inclusion Initiative, a San Antonio nonprofit founded by philanthropist Gordon Hartman, also known as Morgan's dad.
Driving along Thousand Oaks near Wurzbach Parkway in San Antonio, you can't miss the 165,000 square foot colorful building. It's directly across the street from the world-famous theme park, Morgan's Wonderland. While the outside is beautiful, what's happening on the inside is life-changing for individuals with disabilities, their families, and caregivers.
At Morgan's Wonderland, we see this every day. People come to the park and they have the best time. It's heaven on earth at Morgan's Wonderland for them. But when you start talking to them right beneath the surface, you start seeing all the issues they face on a daily basis. And that's our motivation to make the world a better place for them.
The Multi-Assistance Center at Morgan's Wonderland, the MAC, was created to address the many issues individuals with disabilities face every day. It will help families identify and access services in a way that's never been done before, with a single point of contact called a navigator.
The navigator will make all the difference because it will be the glue that links all of the services and providers that individuals with special needs have to negotiate and navigate out in the community. Instead of them doing it by themselves, the navigator will be their partner in that effort.
I'm Francine Flores, your lead navigator, and you are Miss Luna?
Yes. That navigator is a partner for these families, for these individuals, and will help them access all the resources and support that they need, whether it be within the MAC or whether it be in the community.
If the MAC had been here when Morgan was younger, it would have saved us a lot of time and heartache. She still to this day does not have a specific diagnosis. So it would have been so much easier to come in here and talk to a navigator, have them direct us in the right direction instead of bouncing around from doctor to doctor to doctor that we did when she was little. So it would have been a major game changer.
Many times we refer to people about the binders. There's binders and there's folders that are this thick on all the doctors and therapists and things that we went to at Morgan. What this place does is take all of those and puts them all into an electronic file. And so that when you tell your story, you tell it once. I've told Morgan's story to doctors and therapists and people who need to know it to assist her 100 times. It doesn't need to be that way.
This was my life.
Edward Temez's son Sebastian was diagnosed with a chromosome disorder, 3p deletion syndrome.
When we first received Sebastian's diagnosis, he was 4 years old. This was in 2006. And so that really threw his mother and I into a state of shock. We didn't know where to turn to. We didn't know who to trust. And we were really lucky at the time that we had a wonderful pediatrician who was able to assemble a great team of specialists for us. But that was only the first part of the challenge. The second part was actually organizing all that information that we were suddenly getting with evaluations and testing.
Organizing his care was overwhelming, so his wife created a binder to track all of his appointments, treatments, and progress.
Evaluations, testing. So we kept all of his information in here, all of his academic reports, genetic tests, neurology, and at one point we went to see a cardiologist as well. So this is all of Sebastian's history all in one place. Now that families have the Multi-Assistance Center, they won't need a binder. They have everything they need all in one place.
The MAC won't serve patients, they will serve members. a name chosen to represent what the MAC truly is, a community.
It's really important that we call them members because, again, the MAC is going to be a family. It's going to be a family that's going to be able to accept you into this new community where you're going to have access to all kinds of services. And so it's important that you're recognized as a member of this family, not a patient of this family.
Just answer is yes or no?
You can do that as well, and then mom can go and answer, unless you want mom to answer.
The MAC member will be assigned a navigator who will do one comprehensive evaluation and determine their course of care based on all areas of need.
We evaluate our members for medical, therapy, dental, all the medical supports that they might need. But one of the most important things that we do is we evaluate their social determinants of health. 70% of an individual's health is determined by these social determinants of health.
Social determinants of health are the conditions in the environments where people live. They affect a wide range of health, functioning, and quality of life outcomes.
For example, do I have access to transportation to get to my appointment? Do I have proper nutrition so that I can live a healthy lifestyle? Do I have access to legal services? Do I have access to education? Do I have food insecurity or food literacy issues? So those are the factors that really contribute to your overall well-being. The MAC Care model is intended to, with the help of a navigator assigned to you, treat all those social determinants of health so that your quality of life can improve. And around that relationship of the navigator and social determinants, we're building a healthcare model, a therapy model, and social service model around that.
The information that the MAC navigation system captures will stay in that system, and it will prevent that family from having to explain their situation, their family history over and over again.
We'll go ahead and put in a referral for the dentist.
Okay.
Are you interested in Sponsor Eye Experts for his vision provider?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, so we will do a referral for them as well. They're an optometrist and ophthalmologist.
Chloe Fields has a rare genetic disorder, a mitochondrial disease called Lee syndrome.
A neurometabolic disorder. It's caused by a genetic defect. She looks like a really typical 13-year-old girl, but she has the functionality of an infant. Her brain just doesn't effectively tell her body what to do. So we pretty much have to do everything for her.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chloe.
Lee syndrome is fatal. Typically, kids with this disease do not live more than a couple of years. But I always tell people that's her diagnosis, but she's so much more than a diagnosis. She's a beautiful, smart, courageous, funny, curious, adventurous girl who makes the world a better place.
The Fields have been fighting the system of care for years. For them and most individuals with disabilities, the MAC is long overdue.
We often say, it takes a village to do just about everything with Chloe. She has over 25 specialists. We have 4 in-home nurses. We have speech, PT, occupational therapy. It is an exhausting amount of coordination and planning just to get her to all the basic services that she needs.
Suzette, you're able to call me and say, hey, you know what? I have 5 appointments coming up and they're on 3 different days. Can we look on how to streamline those?
Suzette and I have talked for years about what Chloe and kids like her need. We need that one-stop shop. We need that coordinated care. We need a place where we're not always the one saying, what about this, but someone is proactively managing that with us and for us. The idea that would be somebody's sole job to look at Chloe's needs, to assess all the services she could and should benefit from, and to be showing up proactively in our life to make sure that happens, it's huge.
The MAC has very special meaning to the Fields family. Dr. Fields is the president and CEO of Morgan's Inclusion Initiative. He not only lives the challenges of having a child with disabilities, his work is dedicated to improving the lives of everyone touched by special needs.
What we do in our mission is very personal. The services that the MAC offers is not just theoretical to me, it's our life.
Look at you. That is so awesome. I love it. That is cool.
So when I see some of our MAC members or our MACers or our staff, Suzette's used to getting the text from me of, here's why I cried at work today. It's more than a job and more than a building to me.
I was very excited about the MAC. It's a great opportunity to have one location that we can come to.
Tina Mann's full-time job is taking care of her son, Ryan.
Ryan was born full term, and we thought he was a typical kiddo. By the time he was 4 months old, we found out that he would have special needs. We didn't really know what. We still don't really know what to call it. His official diagnosis is encephalopathy, which basically just means the brain doesn't tell the body exactly what to do like it should. But he is in a wheelchair full time because he's still learning how to do a lot of things. But cognitively, he follows conversations. He has a great sense of humor. He's very smart. Ryan can communicate using an eye gaze, which is a computer that he uses his eyes to talk with. He's very intelligent. He just is kind of stuck inside of his body.
You want to let people know who you are, huh? Oh, yes.
Ryan seems to understand the organization pattern better than I do. Like, he can find words. Like the other day, he got to play with a new remote control snake, and he really loves snakes. Loves snakes.
1, 2, 3. Whoa, really fast.
Before the MAC, Tina was traveling all over the city for doctor's appointments, therapy sessions, and evaluations.
We go to 2 therapy appointments here a week, and we have 2 at home a week, and we see at least 1 to 2 doctors a week. We have a team of 10 to 12 doctors all the time.
While the number of appointments and commitments won't change, having most services in one location means less time spent traveling around the city and more quality time with Ryan. And despite the work it takes to care for Ryan, you will never hear her complain.
It has its definite challenges, but it also has a lot of blessings. There are a lot of rewards for it. He's a fun kid to be around, and he's a very pleasant child. But it's an ongoing job every single day, and he has a lot of medical needs, and so it keeps me busy all the time. But you're a good kid, right? You are fun, and you're good. You are so good, so it's nice to be with you.
All MAC members are evaluated by a navigator based on the same criteria, and then divided into 4 categories.
There are 4 levels: yellow, orange, green, and purple, and each of them describe the level of support an individual needs when they're coming to the MAC. A yellow level is an individual who needs minimal support within the MAC. They have some individuals that are supporting them, but they can really navigate within the MAC, and they need just a little help in getting to the additional resources that they need. An orange member is an individual who needs moderate support. They may already be connected with some agencies and then just coordinating some additional supports that are needed. They also may need translation and interpretation services, and those take a little bit longer to ensure that they get the quality service that they need. A green member would be a family who has multiple children in the home accessing MAC services. They have multiple doctors that they're working with, multiple resources they're working with, and so all that is increased navigation. Now, a purple member would be an individual who has a lot of medical providers and resources that they're navigating. Individuals who are the most fragile and have a lot of medical complex needs that need extra time and support to really coordinate all of those physicians, providers, therapists.
Whether a member is orange or purple after their initial evaluation, their color could change.
Things may change in your life. Things may change in that individual's life, and so that level of support will change, and that is okay, because our navigators are being trained, and we have the best experienced and educated navigators that if you go from a purple to a yellow or from an orange to a green, it'll be fine. You will get the same quality of care and that same quality of support no matter what.
Coming up, the community partners that make the MAC possible.
Hi, I'm Sharon Kreitzberg with Project Angel Fairs. Project Angel Fairs brings in families who have a child with special health care need or disability, gets them to San Antonio, Texas from across the state, across the country, so they can experience Morgan's Wonderland, all expenses paid. And upon their arrival, we've had the parents tell us so many times that my child thinks they're a rock star because all of these strangers are there specifically to see them, welcome them, and believe that they are just so incredibly special. Project Angel Fairs is important because we give families the opportunity to create memories that will last a lifetime by giving their child the opportunity to do something that they can't do anyplace else in the world.
I'm Sharon Kreitzberg, Executive Director for Project Angel Fairs, and we're proud to be a Macker.
Hi, I'm Jay Birchville. I'm the CEO of Life Skills for Living. Life Skills for Living is a nonprofit ministry that is helping individuals with their behavioral insights. We provide tools in the area of stress management, conflict resolution, anger management, enhancing relationships, and we also provide some basic financial understandings. Life Skills for Living is important because we provide everyday applications and tools for people that lack those, and it leads to stress and conflicts in their lives. I'm Jay Birchville with Life Skills for Living, and I'm really proud to be a Macker.
While the navigator is key to the MAC's success, it is only one part of the puzzle. Once a patient has a plan of action, our partners ensure they can get their treatment efficiently and conveniently.
MAC members will follow their course of treatment using the MAC Nav system, specifically designed for the MAC. It is a cloud-based, HIPAA-compliant electronic platform.
The MAC Nav system is a database system that is connected to all of the Mackers, to the navigator, and also to the member. And it allows all of these individuals that are working with the individual to understand what the schedule looks like, understand what that individual's history is, and determine and create the best possible plan for that individual.
The MAC Nav system will collect data on the MAC member, send and track referrals, and ensure communication between all Mackers.
A Macker is a MAC partner. It's a fun name that we gave our MAC partners because they're critical to our MAC care model. We could not do what we do without our Mackers. And they're the providers that are providing the services to individuals with special needs, either here at the MAC or offsite as a referral partner.
Bluesburg Pediatrics, this is Chelsea. How can I help you?
We have many Mackers, and each brings their own unique expertise to our care model. Some will have a small space at the MAC, but others will have a large presence. Communicare will offer MAC members combined primary and specialty care.
At the MAC, Communicare will be providing primary care for children and for adults. We'll be providing women's health services, and we'll be working with a range of specialists, including neurologists, pulmonologists, and that list will expand as the MAC grows.
Communicare at the MAC, how can I help you today?
We have a child psychologist who has extensive experience working with people with special needs, particularly autism. And so she will be able to do counseling, but also be able to do psychological assessment. So she can evaluate people and do IQ testing and assessments for autism. And that'll be a really crucial part of the package. Hi. Hey, how are y'all doing?
Great, how are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So we have a very big clinic here. It's 21,000 square feet, which will make it, I think, our second largest site within Communicare. We have a total of 49 rooms, and we've set aside 5 of those to be meeting rooms. So when we do have physicians of different specialties here together, we can have a little meeting. So if we have like a spina bifida clinic and we have neurosurgery and orthopedics here at the same time, we'll have a place where we can gather and talk about a particular patient.
Team Ability will work with children and adults who have any disability.
Push those legs. Go, go, go. There you go. Keep going.
Well, from the very start, Team Ability, for 19 years, we have believed in the potential of all persons, no matter how severe their disabilities. And our mission has been to provide them opportunities to achieve their potential, participating in meaningful activities that lead to function and greater inclusion in the community. And so when the MAC's core values were established and we all became interested and excited about this dream MAC, It was a natural fit because this was something that we live every day. And just to bring that to a larger audience and more people and be collaborating with all the partners, it's like a dream come true.
Oh, push, Ashley, push. Go, 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 go.
Each one of the families that brings their children here or their adults with special needs has a story, and every story is different. We serve persons who were born very prematurely, who have medical fragility. We serve people who suffered catastrophic illnesses and have recovered but have a disability. We serve persons who have traumatic brain injuries. So the stories are very varied and very heartfelt.
Is that hard to do? It looks very hard to do.
Well, this young lady, Medley, is 7 years old, and she had a spinal cord injury. And so she is learning to cope with her paralysis. She's learning how to strengthen the rest of her body, as well as learning some compensatory skills so that she can participate independently in the activities of daily living.
Strawberry, no lime, no strawberry.
Hi. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Hey, buddy. How are you today?
The MAC is a concept that we've been dreaming of, I would say, forever. And we are so excited that it has finally come to fruition, bringing together the vision and the willpower and determination to make it happen, combined with the talent, expertise, passion, and dedication of the partners, is guaranteed to be a success.
UTSA will serve as our external program assessment partner. They will play a vital role in monitoring the MAC's success.
It is very important to have a report card given to the MAC by an external party, such as UTSA, so that the community knows that this is a place with high quality services, and it is a place that is indeed making a difference in impacting the lives of those we serve.
A lot of times when people do really good work in the community, they're not able to objectively present the data that supports that. And so that's really what our role is as evaluators, is that UTSA can come in and we can collect that data objectively using really standardized metrics that can be comparable to other projects. And we can really give the data resources to the MAC so they can talk about their accomplishments and their successes. But also we're a critical viewpoint too, to where we can identify opportunities for improvement and ways to really engage in quality improvement in what they're doing.
As a researcher, I want to make sure that the data is telling the story, right? The story that we see happening at the MAC, and that it is helping us to identify those pain points so that we can iterate. Because ultimately, right, I think everybody here is just open to being really responsive to any kind of feedback that they get, because our eye is on the prize of making this just the best, most innovative, most accessible, most inclusive place that it can be.
Hi, my name is Clarissa. I'm calling from Team Ability. I have a referral here from a MAC navigator for a patient that wants to come to physical therapy with us.
Other partners include Our Lady of the Lake University, the Center for Healthcare Services, Sponsal Eye Experts, San Antonio Lighthouse for the Blind and Vision Impaired, Happy Ohana Smiles, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, Blue Sprig, and so many more.
We need as many MACers as possible because the need is great out there, and there's a lot of organizations that are providing services to individuals with special needs. What we have found is there's no one organization that can provide the full breadth and scope of all the services required. So all of us coming together is a great value, not just to the individuals with special needs, but to our community in general.
Another important component of the MAC is practice without pressure.
The philosophy of practice without pressure is to help people to participate in their own care without restraint in greatly reducing sedation. It's also about bringing the caregivers into the process and working with clinicians and professionals to help them understand what the people are capable of.
Sit right here, and I'm just gonna put your back. There we go. And I'm gonna go down.
Someone becomes afraid. It could be when you see the needle, it could be when you see the tourniquet, it could be when you walk in the door. So we find out in our consultation where the fear comes in, We work with the caregivers to help them learn different ways of working with the individual. And then we practice so that people can become familiar. They can own their own procedures, their own behaviors.
We provide processing time. We provide an individual dignity and humanity and allowing them to actually feel the feelings that come along with being that person who's having the intervention or the procedure done, and allowing that process time to happen before the actual procedure so they can cope.
Again, Stephen does not like anything in his personal space, so we go back and forth between him and Mom. He's just a totally different kid right now.
We can help prepare for a dental visit, medical visit, audiology, eye support, eye tests, diagnostic testing, phlebotomy, any of those invasive and most likely traumatic experiences that they've had in the past.
Practice Without Pressure was born from issues I had with my son Mark getting care. My son Mark has Down syndrome and some major heart and other health issues. And he was restrained and sedated so much that I knew something else needed to happen. So I created the PWP philosophy and model because of him.
Coming up, why the building is an important piece of the puzzle.
I'm Eric Cooper, President and CEO of your San Antonio Food Bank. We serve 29 counties here in Southwest Texas, providing nourishment to families who are hungry. The San Antonio Food Bank is important because there's 100,000 people each week that struggle to put food on the table. Those families, in their search for nourishment, find their way to one of our 823 partners throughout South Texas who dispense groceries and meals to families that are trying to nourish themselves. I'm Eric Cooper, President and CEO of your San Antonio Food Bank, and I am proud to be a Macker.
At Morgan's Wonderland, there's something fun for everyone.
Let's go.
Come, enjoy a place where everyone can play, where imagination and innovation meet inclusion, where you can experience real family fun. Discover a place where wonders never cease. Visit morganswonderland.com for tickets and more information. Morgan's Wonderland. It's for everyone.
I'm Rebecca Coleman. I'm the Director of Clinical Services at Blue Sprig. At Blue Sprig, we provide ABA or Applied Behavior Analysis, which is one of the most effective therapies for children with autism. Blue Sprig is important because we put the child and the family first. We start with a very individualized plan based on what the child needs and what the family dreams is possible for them. We work on skills from communicating what they want and need, to learning how to share and express affection, make friendships, and learn to take care of themselves and keep themselves healthy. Everything that we do is to make sure that they can live their best lives possible. I'm Rebecca Coleman. I'm the Director of Clinical Services at Blue Sprig, and we are proud to be Mackers.
The people and partners are only a part of this magnificent equation. The building itself was created with detailed thought into what would make the MAC members' experience comfortable, inviting, and less stressful.
You guys are looking good. I love all the little butterflies that they've put up. They look so cute outside. Yeah.
The elevator, look at the elevator.
Oh, is it? Oh, that is so pretty. They do look great.
From the moment you enter, you sense this is no ordinary place. The MAC was specifically designed not to look like a medical facility.
So every color, every texture, every piece of furniture was carefully thought out. We have over 10 committees that work with us in our partnership as we were creating and building the MAC. And one of the things that they said was, do not make the MAC look like a government building. Do not make it look like an office building or a medical building. Make it feel like Morgan's Wonderland. And so that's exactly what we did.
The MAC was designed to create a feeling of warmth, welcome, and comfort. MAC members shouldn't dread their visits. They should look forward to them. By creating an environment of calmness, color, and comfort, MAC members will hopefully see the MAC as an extension of their own home.
We wanted to ensure that every area is ultra accessible for anyone coming in. A lot of times, an individual's special needs is triggered by sounds, colors, and so we wanted to take that into consideration as we were building these
these spaces out and ensuring that we had those white noise, we had extra large doorways.
There are also large elevators to accommodate a gurney, ground-level sinks to clean a feeding tube, sound-absorbing floors and walls to decrease distractions, and 3 uniquely themed quiet rooms, a de-escalation, sensory, and entertainment room.
We have a lactation area as well too for not just our families coming in and our clients, but also our staff members too, that they have these areas where they have that privacy, and we can provide that respectful place for them as well too.
White noise will filter outside sounds and help ensure privacy between the navigators, Mackers, and members. And every floor of the MAC will have a family restroom with an adult changing station and a shower for the comfort and ease of caring for individuals with disabilities.
What's special about this building, that it was designed especially for those individuals with special needs. We wanted to ensure that we're providing tools for them when they come into the building.
Designing unique places isn't a new concept. The story actually dates back over a decade when Morgan's Wonderland opened in 2010. It's the world's first ultra-accessible, fully inclusive nonprofit theme park. Nearly 2 million people from 122 countries and all 50 states have experienced the park. It encompasses 25 acres of rides, attractions, and activities for everyone to enjoy.
You're spinning.
Doing cartwheels.
Making noodles.
From the Whirling Wonder Ferris wheel to the iconic carousel, everything is wheelchair accessible, creating an atmosphere of inclusion and a culture of kindness.
There you go, yeah! Very good.
Morgan Hartman is the inspiration behind this park and everything we do. Her smile has a contagious ability to lift spirits, and her wave is a joyful welcome to people of all abilities.
Hey, Bobby! I'm very proud of you.
Oh, you have fish hands.
What? Oh, 10.
This is a place where everyone can play together and gain a better understanding of each other. Guests with special needs are always admitted free of charge. And just like its symbol, the butterfly, Morgan's Wonderland has grown into something truly beautiful and inspires others to take flight. Always looking to the future, Morgan's Inspiration Island opened in 2017. The $17 million 3-acre splash park is another first, designed to bring people of all abilities together. It has 5 tropically themed splash pads, a riverboat adventure ride, and a wheelchair valet system. Guests in wheelchairs can privately transfer into one of our waterproof chairs, including a pneumatic chair. Powered by compressed air, this allows even guests in a battery-operated chair a chance to enjoy the splash park without the risk of damaging their personal wheelchairs.
Say again. Give her dukes. Little dukes. All right. There you go.
Every single drop of water provides a refreshing splash of happiness. In 2020, Morgan's Wonderland Sports was completed. Morgan herself was there on opening day to throw out the first pitch. This 3-acre, ultra-accessible sports complex offers 28 court or field combinations, 2 softball fields, 4 tennis courts, 18 pickleball courts, a soccer field, and a basketball court. It's a place of fitness and fun for athletes of all ages and all abilities.
I see you ready.
In 2021, our next adventure was created with Morgan's Wonderland Camp. The 102-acre recreational oasis provides an ultra-accessible camping experience. From swimming to zip lining.
You need to get in these.
Yeah? There you go.
To rock wall climbing.
You guys purple glasses, do you see him?
Yes.
And even a challenge course. It was all specially created for people of all abilities. A theme park. A splash park. A sporting facility. And a camp. Places that prove it's possible for people of all abilities to enjoy life side by side.
Yeah!
But this current endeavor, the MAC, is more than a place. It's a community based on a revolutionary concept. Coming up, the man behind the MAC and how his love for his daughter keeps inspiring him to push the envelope of inclusion.
I'm William Sponsel, and I work with Sponsel Eye Experts. That's S-E-E, spells the word see. Come on forward here, lock up and get it real tight. Your sight is one of your most important assets. At Sponsel Eye Experts, we take care of difficult patients who come in with all manner of eye problems. But there is a much higher propensity for special needs patients who have other systemic disorders to have other bad eye diseases. It's often difficult to provide the same level of care for a patient who cannot necessarily cooperate and sit to have a diagnostic test or, lie down voluntarily to have us do a procedure, or to sit at the slit lamp and allow us to make an injection. The beauty of this new facility is that we will be able to do all those things in the surgery center that's under construction. Hi, I'm William Sponsel with the Sponsel Eye Experts. We take care of very difficult eye problems here at the MAC, and we're very proud to be MACers.
I am Ana Margarita Guzman, but everybody calls me Cha. And I am lucky enough to be the chair of Opportunity Home, which is the new name for the San Antonio Housing Authority. Opportunity Home provides housing for low-income and people with disabilities, as well as aged citizens. It's important because we are the net that makes sure that all of our residents in Bexar County and in the city of San Antonio have housing. We still have over 6,000 citizens that are on the waiting list. But we are working hard to build more housing to make sure that everyone lives somewhere they can be proud of. Cha Guzman, Opportunity Home, proud to be a MACer.
You may be wondering, how did this come to be? Who thought of it? And how did they make it happen? Our founder, the visionary behind it all, explains. I am sitting in your office in the brand new Multi-Assistance Center in San Antonio. How does it feel for you to be in this office?
I keep pinching myself because when you think back that it was just 4.5 years ago when we started talking about this idea, and a lot of wonderful people came to a meeting and said, "You're thinking about doing what? What's this idea?" And it started really to, more and more people started to say, yeah, there's something there. And to finally be here and to now start to see people coming in and taking an opportunity to really be a part of something that is really big, it's nice to see. It's just, all I can say is it's cool and it's neat and it's wonderful.
Well, let's go back 4 years. Let's go back when the whole idea first started. Why? Where did this even idea come from?
Well, I think, as I many times say, a lot of what we do that has the Morgan's name on it is because of Morgan. And as I always tell people, Morgan is one of the lucky ones. She deals with cognitive and physical issues. And she's a wonderful, wonderful young lady who has an incredible smile and just lights up a room. But the reason I say she's one of the lucky ones is because we have been able to give her what she needs from a standpoint of a caregiver and the doctors and the therapists and all that. And we have access maybe to some things that others don't have because we're able to, we know this business, if you will. But there are many who have special needs and families who many times don't get those same opportunities. So really what the MAC is being able to bring everybody to that same level.
Was there a specific moment where you said, we need to build a multi-assistance center? Was there like this trigger for you?
I don't know if it was a trigger, but I will tell you this, it was many, many experiences. And I think it's not just the experiences with Morgan, but it's listening to others who have had to go through it. And as I would listen to them, I would think, wow, they had their situation was similar to ours, but theirs was 10 times harder than ours and we could have made it a lot easier if they had only known X, Y, Z. Well, what we do is we are the X, Y, Z here at the MAC to help be able to express to them how to do it in a more efficient, more common sense, collaborative approach that changes the whole game.
How did these community partners of MACers that are now a part of it, how did they react when you first approached them about coming on board and making this a collaborative effort?
Well, I think at first it took a lot of education I think a lot of people just like, wait, we're gonna do what? So there was a lot of questioning. I think there was always a lot of hope, though, that it would lead to the point of where it is today. But there was a lot of, we're not sure this will work. If you take no, or if you go, well, okay, that is a reason why it won't work, well, yeah, then you mentally go to where it won't happen. If you stay positive and you bring people in, and that's what we have around here, is people who have passion and positive approach towards helping individuals with special needs, anything's possible. And when you think about the special needs community represents 15% of the community, they've kind of been left to the side and not been thought about to the level that we believe they should be. So I think part of what the MAC does and all the other things that we do collectively will allow for that to be much more focused on than it ever has before.
I think a lot of people think, well, I don't have a loved one that has a disability, so it really doesn't impact me. I always say we are all impacted, and it is the one minority group we are all one blink away from being a part of.
That's exactly right. I've had many friends who have some special needs now who, if you were to talk to them 6 months ago, would never have thought. Many times people say, you know, Gordon, when you say it's 15%, I don't see that. And the reason you don't see it is because we've never opened our opportunities for a place where they could feel comfortable going to play, or a place they could play in sports, or a place where they could go to a camp and go on a zip line even though they're on oxygen, okay? Because we thought, well, why do we need to worry about that? Well, because that's a person who deserves just what the next person deserves.
Outside of the MAC in the building, what do you hope this accomplishes?
Well, a lot of things, but I think the first thing is that the MAC care model is something that will grow into other communities in time. We are being recognized by the state as a demonstration project. And the reason we are is because it is creative, it's new, it's a whole different approach.
Let's talk about what went into the building itself, and for instance, the statue of Morgan, which is going to be in the lobby.
Yeah.
Tell me about how that came to be, and tell me about the statue itself.
The statue was something that I thought was important because Morgan is the inspiration behind everything that has her name on it, and it is the brand. I mean, why we do not just the MAC, but Morgan's Wonderland, Morgan's Inspiration Island, Morgan's Wonderland Camp, Morgan's Wonderland Sports, has all been from interaction or activities of something either Morgan has done or given us a reaction to and said, that's something we need to go do. And what's neat about it is the gentleman who did it has some special needs. He was also the gentleman who helped us with the large hands over at Morgan's Wonderland, where literally there's tens of thousands of pictures of those hands everywhere. And he's just a wonderful gentleman by the name of Doug Roper, and he just played a major role in saying, Gordon, I want to do this.
This is a life-size replica, bronzed, isn't it, of Morgan?
You know, a lot of people don't know she's a little over 6'5", and so it's just as tall as she is. And the key thing on it is she's waving. And so people have often asked, why is she waving? Because Morgan engages with everybody. She may not be able to get into a long discussion with you, but she does engage with her smile, she engages with her wave, and those two things are expressed on this. You'll see a wonderful smile, and you'll see a hand waving because she wants to participate. That's about inclusion. What she's saying is, I want you to be included in my life. That's what we're all about, is inclusion. So it ties everything together.
Talk about the hands, because very interesting. It's the same height as her,
yeah.
But the hands are an exact replica of her hands.
Yeah, I'd be getting pictures of it all the time as it was being developed, and I saw where her hands looked awfully small. And I remember talking to Doug saying, Doug, the hands are wrong. He goes, well, the hands are hands. I said, no. Her hand is the same as my hand. It's exact. And so what I did is I took a piece of paper and I did an outline of my hand. I took a picture of it, I did measurements for him, and he changed to where her fingers are the same as what they truly are. So it's truly life-size in every way.
So if you and Morgan are together and you put your hands together, they match perfectly.
Match perfectly. Remember, it has your hand the same size, remember? Yeah. Yeah, kind of weird. Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, so cool to see her put her hand against the hand of the statue.
All right, all right, there you go. All right. Yeah. Good job, Morgan.
You too, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's...
I can high five her, it'll be perfect fit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anything else that he really tried to do to capture Morgan?
Morgan has a certain smile. It's always evident. And so I think he did a good job capturing that. And that's hard to do. That's why I'm so amazed at what Doug did. And it also, you know, she also always pulls her hair behind her ear. And that is evident, and that's one of her mannerisms. You can be talking to her and she'll do that. That's part of the statue.
How do you think she's going to react to the statue?
You know, this is the neat thing about Morgan. She's so laid back in that respect. I think she'll giggle at it and maybe have some fun with it. But she's not one of those who's like, you know, look at the statue, and I'll say, Morgan, who is it? And she'll go, me. But and then we'll move on to the next thing.
That is a really special thing, I think, that the statue is in the center of the lobby because she is waving and greeting, as you said, everyone who comes into the building.
Right. Even before you get into the MAC, the way in which we did the wave of the roof structures was because when you usually go to medical facilities, they're real just basic and they don't have any color. And you know, the butterfly of Morgan's Wonderland, or Morgan's, it has 4 colors. You'll see it everywhere. The reason the butterfly has become such a big deal is because it represents so much. Think of a butterfly. Incredible. First of all, very beautiful, okay? But also incredible in respect to what they can do. They can fly thousands of miles, are very delicate, but also because they're delicate, you could crush them and kill them. You could, in your hand. You could destroy them. And so, individuals with special needs come out of their cocoon. They are butterflies. Give them an opportunity to fly, and they will fly and they will soar. We're trying to make this a very home, fun feeling, and then we're going to have also a trolley that's going to take you from Morgan's to here and back and forth. So let's say you come in, and under the system, under the program, we're going to try to maybe make 2 or 3 appointments in one day. Let's say that's possible. So you have 1 at 10, 1 at 1, and 1 at 4. When between those, you don't want to just sit in the lobby and wait, so why not go and play for a couple of hours over at Morgan's, come on back, that sort of thing. So it's all about the environment of what we're trying to achieve here.
Talk about what that was like for you, Maggie, and Morgan when you first realized that Morgan did have a disability.
Yeah, you know, Maggie and I knew that Morgan had some issues probably around 1.5 years old. So she started showing some signs that she wasn't keeping up with other children that were. And so Maggie started talking about that and having concern about it. And we were being, well, just hang on. And then as I'm talking to you right now, I can see that doctor, therapist telling us, your child has some issues, let me explain what those are. And Maggie and I kind of looking at each other going, what does this mean?
All the way home from that appointment, I cried. And it was just like the bottom fell out. Because when I was growing up, people with special needs were not only not included in the classes, they were in a separate building. They ate lunch separately.
Now, one thing that I had that was an advantage to me a little bit is back when I was in the seminary, I worked with a lot of individuals with special needs. And so it maybe in some ways, it didn't hit me as hard, but it hit me hard because it was now it's my child. It's not just someone who I'm going to help. And it hit Maggie pretty hard as well.
No, you always have those dreams that, you picture what your child's life's going to be like, grandchildren and getting married and being happy. And then you realize that you've got to change your thinking.
But here's what quickly happened, is that there was a feeling quickly that there's a positive here. This isn't a negative.
So for like 2 weeks, I cried. I was so upset. And, you can't show it to your child, so it's like, it was horrible. But then it's like one day, it's almost like, the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. Oh my gosh, I looked at Morgan, it was like, oh my God, let's look at this amazing young person. She is just awesome.
Morgan, the positive of Morgan is that she may not communicate exactly like we're communicating here, but she communicates just fine. She may not do things exactly the way you and I do them or others do them, but she does things just fine because that's okay.
She is so amazingly loving and affectionate and kind and empathetic. She loves people. She loves being around. She's a people person. She loves being around people. She loves being around boys. And she has been that way since she was in elementary school. So she is kind of boy crazy, but that's okay.
A lot of what we talk about, of course, are individuals with disabilities and special needs, and that's really, sometimes people think that is the main focus of everything, but the truth is, everything that you do and everything you touch is really about unifying all abilities, isn't it?
It's about inclusion. We talk about, I often joke with people, we were talking about inclusion before inclusion was cool.
What does that feel like for you as the person who initially thought this would be a game changer for individuals with disabilities? It was years in planning, lots of coordination, and now it's happening. What does that feel like for you?
It feels good, but it doesn't feel where I want it to feel yet, and here's why. we've had some people coming in now, and things are starting to gin up, and things are starting to go now.
Hey y'all, how are you? I'm Brent.
Hi, Becky West.
Becky, good to meet you. Welcome. How are you? Oh, I love it.
But we're going to hit high levels, thousands and thousands of people who are going to be helped on a consistent basis through this facility. And that's when it's going to be like, yeah, we're there.
Coming up, how to become a MAC member.
Dawn Dixon, Executive Director, Connectability. Connectability is a nonprofit organization that serves individuals and their families who've experienced catastrophic type injuries or disabilities, such as traumatic brain injury, spinal cord injury, amputation, stroke, or some other similar type of functional disability. Connectability is important because we are truly a safety net for individuals and families who've sustained these life-altering types of injuries or disabilities. And we really walk with them hand in hand through this journey to ensure that they reach their maximum potential. Dawn Dixon, Executive Director, Connectability, proud to be a MACer.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Arndt, President and CEO of VIA Metropolitan Transit. At VIA, we connect people to opportunities. We're not just a bus company, we are an organization that gives people the chance to learn, the chance to work, the chance to receive services, and the chance to enjoy a social life. VIA is important because many of our clients really rely upon us to have access. And without access to locations where you can get training and where you can get services and where you can get a job, you don't have those opportunities at all. So it's very important to the folks that ride VIA that we be there for them reliably and faithfully. I'm Jeffrey Arndt, President and CEO of VIA Metropolitan Transit, and we're proud to be MACers.
The MAC would love to one day provide services for all people with disabilities, but initially the number of members admitted into the program will be limited. This is to ensure the care model is tested and perfected before growing too fast. While the MAC cannot guarantee services for everyone who wants to be a member, everyone is encouraged to sign up.
We encourage everyone to go to our website and complete the pre-screening. As we might not be able to take everybody on day one, we will have an interest list that we will start to onboard those individuals as that capacity increases.
This pre-screening form takes about 20 minutes. It has about 15 questions on it. If a member cannot get onto our website, they can walk in person and there will be a staff member to greet them and to walk them over to a kiosk that will have tablets and they will help them complete the pre-screening form. From the information on that pre-screening form, an intake navigator will call that family. They will go over the information that was on the pre-screening form and let that family know if they're eligible for services. If they're eligible for services, they will have an intake completed by the intake navigator. That's a very robust intake that takes all of their demographic and all of their pertinent medical information, and they will get assigned a navigator.
Navigation services at the MAC are provided free of charge to MAC members, furthering our collective mission to reduce and remove financial barriers for those with disabilities. The members assigned navigator will assist in coordinating insurance benefits with our MACers.
So we recognize that we're only going to be able to serve a limited capacity at the MAC, and there may be a lot of interest out there. We just will say, if you're not able to get in at first, please be patient with us. Please keep checking in with us. We want to grow into our MAC care model and open up capacity in the months and years down the line.
The MAC is a game changer in caring for individuals with disabilities. By focusing on the complete person and managing all of the MAC members' needs, the hope is to improve their quality of life and help them reach their full potential.
And we're not going to do any miracles here. What we are going to do is make things better for those who can participate and be a part of what we do here. But know that we're just starting this venture, this endeavor. Good things take time. This will get better. We'll achieve more by working together. But I ask everybody to be patient, work with us, and know that down the road, this is just something that's got incredible opportunity if we give it a chance.
This is not a cure, but that's not really what we're seeking. What we're seeking is to make lives better and the best that they can be. We're looking to promote wellness and health, and that is by bringing together all the resources that patients need.
By bringing together and coordinating all these services, the MAC will hopefully be that missing piece that pulls the puzzle of care together.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great day.
We hope the MAC becomes a model for other cities and countries to follow. We will strive to become a one-stop shop, collaborative and comprehensive care model that can revolutionize care for our friends with disabilities. To find out more, visit our website, morganswonderlandmac.com.
Together, we are making a difference.